Hi, everybody. I'm James Rains from Jackson Medical, and we are in Atlanta, Georgia. We are spun out from Georgia Tech, and we have a wonderful executive leadership team. We're really happy to have such a wonderful group of people who come from different backgrounds, working at Smith & Nephew, Stryker. One of our advisors used to be the president at Bard, and we have wonderful clinical members who really help us see what's in the hospital's ecosystem. So we really appreciate having such a wonderful team. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about something you may not be familiar with. You're all familiar with the operating room, but I want to point out something in that operating room. This is just a regular laparoscopic procedure that's happening here. But if you take a look at the instrument that they're holding, that instrument is powered by basically something that reaches over 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that's really hot. That's over 260 Celsius. Then also in there, I'll draw your attention to the gowns, the drapes, the people that are in the room, otherwise known as fuel. And the third thing that's in there is oxygen. It's an oxygen-rich environment. And when we put these three things together, it is known as the fire triangle. Fire triangle means it's a really high risk when these three elements are together that a fire could occur in your operating room. And so we look to disrupt that fire triangle. This equipment, as I mentioned, reaches over 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, how often does this happen? Over 25 million times in the United States every year. This is happening, which is putting our patients and our OR staff at risk. And you're probably saying, well, I've never heard of this before. Is this really a problem? Well, if you look at the Joint Commission, what they recently released is a study that shows 1 in 3 nurses have reported this issue has occurred at their facility within the past year. Okay, that's a pretty alarming rate. So introducing GlowShield. It's an innovation developed out of Georgia Tech. It is compatible with existing light cords that are in the hospital. So people do not have to go out and buy new capital equipment. This can be implemented immediately at their facility. And the unique aspect of it is we have a ceramic piece in there that is borrowed from the aerospace industry. When you think of the space shuttle ceramic tiles, it's not too different than that. And so we are able to shield thermally that heat from getting out and touching the patient and the staff that's in the operating room. And then the last component that's interesting into it is we have an elastic element designed into it so it's actively shielding that very hot surface throughout the whole procedure. And this is what it looks like. It's pretty simple. It's kind of elegant, not much to it, but it just goes on the distal end of the light cable, and I'll show it to you in action. So again, I'm going to take you into the operating room for a regular laparoscopic procedure. At the beginning of the case, they're going to place GlowShield on the end of that light cord. Again, it works with the light cords that they already have in their system. And it does not inhibit the workflow. They can just attach it. They flip the top of it back and can attach it to the scope and continue with their regular workflow, visualizing inside the body. And then when it comes time to do a scope exchange or to remove the scope, they are just going to simply disconnect it, and that elastic member is going to bounce back to actively shield that very hot tip from touching anything that's in the operating room. So if you look at this thermal image here, you will see, again, this is something that's over 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Hotter than your oven at home, and I'm sure you wouldn't just put your hand in your oven without some sort of protection, right? So that's what we're offering, right? We're like an oven mitt that's in the operating room. And you can see that it reduces it down to a safe temperature to where it could be safe to touch and safe to place it as they would like to in the operating room. And we're not the only ones who are pointing this out as an issue. If you actually look at AORN, the Joint Commission, the FDA, they all highlight this as a problem that needs addressing in the operating room. In fact, the Joint Commission releases every year the top 10 sentinel events, so the never events that should not happen in the hospital, and this comes up in the top 10 every year. So our goal is to knock it out of the top 10. That is our goal. And if you look at the language that they use, all three of these organizations recommend hospitals to take a look at implementing a safety cap with their light cords. And we're the only safety cap that's out there. And I'm happy to share that we have some wonderful clinical partners who have trusted GlowShield to make it a part of their workflow, okay, to help elevate their standard of care at their facilities to ensure everybody, including their patients, are safe in the operating rooms. We have great partners such as Brigham and Women's, Duke, Emory, Johns Hopkins. When you go there, this is what's part of their protocol, and you will see GlowShield utilized at these facilities. You know, in summary, this is a product that's recommended by the leading institutions, ARN, the Joint Commission. It is patented technology. It's compatible with the existing system that's out there in these hospitals right now. And we have a very stable supply chain. Everything is manufactured in the US, so that means it's high quality and we're not going to go on back order. So we're really proud to have wonderful partners here in the US. But this is an intuitive product. It's very simple. My training takes about 30 seconds when I'm at a hospital, and then they can start using it without issue. It's already proven. This has been used in 250,000 procedures here in the United States, and it has been a reliable solution. The hospital's reporting 0 incidents when they use this product. So we've been very happy. We're very proud of that. And even exciting news, too, is we just announced a partnership with Karl Storz. It's a wonderful partner to have here. They are now distributing this product, and so we're able to leverage their brand name, their high quality, as well as the sales channel to really help us grow over the next short period here. Up to this point, we've done pretty well, but we've only had 2 salespeople. But we've achieved pretty good market acceptance with just a small team. And now that we have a larger team, we're really expected to have great growth over the next several years. So I'm excited to see where this is going to go. But we're also excited about what else is on the horizon. So we've had a good track record to this point. We've had some great success, but we're also looking ahead, and we're excited about the path forward. We are in the middle of developing our second product. It is still in the same space of in the operating room, improving the workflow, improving the safety that's in the operating room. We've already filed some intellectual property, and we are looking to launch in the next 18 to 24 months. And so we're doing a raise right now of $1.75 million, and I hope we'll be able to find some partners who align with what we are trying to do, which is achieving improved patient outcome. And I'm happy to talk to anybody about it if you're interested afterwards. But thank you so much for your attention, and have a great rest of the conference.